Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Yolanda, and here on my channel I like to share different tricks and tips I use in order to improve both my mental and physical health. So I'm not just surviving but thriving. Let me just tell you, this week has been rough. I had a sick son and I myself am not feeling the absolute best at the moment. So if my energy is down a little bit, I'm okay. Spiritually, just I'm not feeling too well physically. Earlier this week, I came across this term that I myself wasn't familiar with, and I delved into researching it. And I wanted to share with you guys what I learned about it, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. And if you are familiar with the term, certainly want to hear what you feel about it. And let's jump into it. It's called eTRF. Early Time Restricted Feeding. Have you heard of that before? But before we jump into it, I have to give you my weekly update on my own weight loss journey. I started this wellness journey on January 2nd, weighing 351 pounds. As of today, I weigh 284.2 pounds. And last week, I weighed 288.4 pounds. So that's a loss of 3.2 pounds for the week and 65.8 pounds overall. Yay! Let me preface this by saying I'm no doctor, nor am I a scientist. My degree is in economics with a minor in management and organization. So what I can tell you is that I read several studies and I am sharing what I learned from it and just want to get your perspective on it if you think that it could benefit you on your journey. And I'll let you know if I think it can benefit me on mine. eTRF, early time restricted fasting, is basically shifting and shrinking your eating window to earlier in the day. The recommendation is between 4 to 10 hours of a feeding window. So that's shrinking it because typically people's feeding windows are 12 hours. That would make your fasting hours between 14 and 20 hours. I myself do 72-hour fasting, but I know a lot of my viewers they're not fasting yet. They're thinking about fasting or they're in that prep mode. So this could be really good for most of my viewers who are not currently rolling fasting. This could be a good way to transition you into rolling fasting. So how did someone come up with this eTRF? Well, it's based off the circadian rhythm, which is like your physical, mental process that your body goes through within a 24-hour cycle. Basically, it's your body's clock. And the goal is to set your feeding time to your body's natural clock. I have a lot of notes on this topic, so forgive me if I look down occasionally. So let me start by saying that the studies that I'm going to be referencing was done by the Pinnacle Biomedical Research Center as well as the University of Alabama. So in these studies, they had participants, they have a control group, and they have people who they're actually testing these new theories on, right? In the studies, the control group and the eTRF groups had their eating was monitored, their sleeping was monitored. They were even in a respirator chamber to determine like their levels of oxygen. This study was detailed. And the study included overall healthy individuals, not overweight people. So the study wasn't to determine weight loss, but some of the things they found out may play a part in weight loss. But first, let's cover the things that are not directly weight loss related, but we know the body works together as a unit, so everything plays a part. For me, I am always seeking good sleep because I feel like if you can get good rest, you can take on anything. And the eTRF study showed that the eTRF group did not expend any more energy than the control group. Okay, you would say, well, how does that help with sleep? Well, the interesting part is that the eTRF group used more energy during the day and less at night. For me, that translated to I'm burning more energy during the day. So when I'm sleeping, my body isn't working overtime to break down my food. It's simply resting. And if you are rested, you have more energy to take on the next day. Other things that were found in the study is that insulin sensitivity improved and blood pressure lowered. Another interesting thing that I didn't even know you can measure via your hormones was your appetite and hunger. Between the two groups, there was literally no difference. They were able to figure this out by measuring the group's leptin and ghrelin hormones. Hopefully I said that right. After a 12-day period, they found that your hunger hormone started to increase more so in the morning time, which is perfect because that's when you should be eating starting eating. And then also the satiated hormone increased in the afternoon. So that's when you have a feeling of fullness. So feeling fullness more so during the afternoon and evening time would get you through that late night snacking that some of us tend to do. Now, there were some drawbacks to the study. Participants did not like that their window was just 6 hours of eating. If I didn't mention it, yes, in this study, their windows was 6 hours of eating, and they would eat at 8, 11, and 2. So they didn't like that the window was short, and most people preferred to have a 7.8 hour window or eat between 7 and 8 hours. But wouldn't we all just want to eat round the clock? I'm just saying. Maybe not everybody, but those who really love food. Okay, so let's get to the weight loss part of it, right? So I told you that there was an increase in insulin sensitivity earlier, right? So that translated to there being an increase in metabolic flexibility. So that's your body's ability to switch from using carbs and glucose for energy to switch to using fat. So if we're burning fat more efficiently instead of just constantly searching for carbs when there aren't any and you're fasting and looking for glucose, you're burning fat instead, that would lead to weight loss. And I probably should stick with the word fat loss, because although we lose weight, sometimes we know that weight is just water weight. So if our body is burning fat more efficiently, then we know we're on track to a healthier lifestyle, a slimmer waistline, all the things that we are all looking for. In addition to all the information I just shared with you, another one of my takeaways, in addition to all the rest about eTRF, that was not included in this studies I referenced, was that you should remember, they say they're recommending 3 meals in the short period of time. The recommendation is that you have a large first meal. I won't say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever you want to eat, because we associate that with specific food. A large first meal, medium size, middle meal, and a small last meal, which will be more effective in helping you lose weight if that's your goal. Because based off your body clock, you burn more calories or energy earlier in the day. So that's when you should consume most of your food. So my overall takeaway is, by doing eTRF, you will improve your body's insulin sensitivity, therefore increasing your metabolic flexibility to switch from carbs to fat burning. And that will cause your body to be more efficient in burning fat, specifically stored fat, while you're fasting. And also, it will decrease your appetite, making fasting less challenging. So do you think it matters when you eat? Or is this something that you would try? I think it's perfect for someone who is just starting this fasting journey and who's not yet doing 48, 72 hour, even alternate day fasting yet. But this is a perfect jump in starter point where you're still consuming 3 meals, but you're just shrinking your window and moving it up slightly. So I think it's a good way to start the fasting experience and reset your body. And even if you added on like low carb or keto to that eTRF plan, I feel like you will be a fat burning machine. So the question is, will I be trying eTRF? To an extent, because I do 72-hour fasting, obviously my fasting window is much longer than the 14 to 20 hours they recommend. But on my feed days, I typically eat between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. So I am going to move my window and see how that works for me. I'm excited for a little change. And I'll definitely keep you updated. So, to be continued. Now, I know that was a lot of information and I hope it makes sense. If not, leave whatever questions you have down below because I will further delve into the research. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video and you're not a subscriber, please do me a favor and support the channel by hitting subscribe. And I think I'm about to go rest my body because your girl is tired. But I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye guys.